Hey, what's up, guys? So I noticed a little wool in the driveway yesterday. Me and my dad did, so we got to looking around, and it's a little bigger today. Come to find out, my mom's got a little oil leak coming out of her Yukon. So just coming out here tonight to check on that, see what's going on with that, and I guess make a vlog. So alright, so walking up to the truck here, let's see what's going on. As you can see, pretty big puddle. Just gotta figure out where it's coming from down here. Hopefully nothing serious. Side note, these acorns are not fun to lay on. Kinda wish I had some flash so I could show you guys a little better, but see if this will let me do it with my gloves on. Got a little bit of a leak coming out of the drain plug there, so I'm going to check that out. Hopefully that's just loose, and that'll be an easy fix. Alright, so it's going to be kind of poor quality here. I'm working with my phone. What I did was took some paper towels and kind of been swabbing all this up to kind of see if I can spot maybe where fresh oil's showing up. Really checking around the drain plug here, along the seam. Hopefully there's not a bad gasket in there. And then I want to look kind of up in here around the oil filter, see if maybe that connection's bad or leaking somewhere. So that's the kind of stuff I'm looking for as I'm going through swabbing things up here. So I've kind of come in and worked my way over to the other side. There's actually not a lot of room to get under this thing, but checked my connection here with the oil filter. It seems tight. There doesn't seem to be just a whole lot of oil hanging out up there. Just a little bit, looks like a little bit of coverage kind of up this way on the engine block and kind of back this way, but it seems older to me. So that may have been from, you know, maybe some splatter from past oil changes, getting dirt in it, something like that. See, there's a little bit right there. I don't know, I haven't found a spot that's like dedicatedly dripping heavily, and that could be that my mom went somewhere earlier today in this thing. So what could happen was it may be dripping here, but as she's driving, the drop will, you know, the air will catch it and it'll kind of splatter and get back here. And there was quite a bit of coverage back here with dirt, so you still see some of the older buildup that's on there. So I'm gonna tighten this and hopefully that'll be it. Yeah, that's the plan right now. Well, I actually ended up jumping under the front here because I noticed this little puddle right here. I was looking back there. There's a couple little drips here and there. So I don't know, maybe it's leaking oil and something else. This could also be AC. But I figured I'd come up here and check this out. And so I got to looking. And this right here is of course really nasty, but I think that's just from, it's not going to focus. There's a grease zert right there for the steering arm, because it looks the same way over there too. Yeah. Well, I'm looking under here. Right there. Got a little moisture. A red tint. So now I'm thinking there may be some coolant coming out somewhere also, which is a little concerning. You can see a little bit here also. So I need to find out where that's coming from. I'm kind of using my phone as a screen now too to kind of look up in here, and I'm not really seeing anything from this angle. I'm gonna have to go check the hoses up top, see if any have got a split or anything, because there's not a lot happening down here. But something's clearly dripping pretty good. There it was. It just dripped right there while I was on camera. Let's see if Is it right here? No. We definitely got a red tinge on the paper towel though. So found the culprit. There's clearly the biggest leak. That looks like it's riding right there on the bottom of the water pump, which is not a joy, because me and a friend of mine changed one of those over the summer on his Camaro, and yeah, it was pleasant. So I need to get up there and check that guy out. Looks like it's right there on the bottom of the water pump. Ooh, that flash is bright. Well, after looking at it, initial prognosis looks like it's going to be the water pump down below. I guess looks like there's maybe a bearing or something that's gone out down there. It's getting a little dark out here, so I'll probably just go ahead and call it quits for the night and come back and look at it tomorrow. I want to take this intake off so I can get down there and look at it a little better. But if it's the same situation we had with that Camaro over the summer, whew, I got a job cut out for me and no extra hands like I had back then. So we'll see what's going on. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Even a water pump's not too bad. It's just, you know, you hate to buy the part, but we'll see what's going on, and that's it. Alright guys, I'm back. Been working on this Yukon again this morning. Got a couple things taken apart. Took off the, let's see if I can point. There we go. Took off, or at least disconnected a little bit so I can move it out of the way, the intake hosing. I've also taken off the fan shroud that goes up at the front, and I don't know, that stupid little splash guard thing that's held with these dumb little clips. I took that off also. So looking at taking this fan clutch off now. And what I've done is I've rigged up some baling wire around the bolt here on the alternator. It runs through that pulley there. I'm hoping that's going to hold it still so that I can break that nut right there loose. So once I get that off, I can actually see my water pump here, and hopefully we can maybe see where that's leaking, or just take it off and get it replaced, because this car's got a lot of miles, so it's a little overdue. So that's where we're at now. Alright, so this thing right here was a bear to break loose. What I ended up doing was putting a C-clamp on the pulley there that's on the water pump. Hook up a pipe wrench, hit it with this guy. Finally got it to come loose, now it's spinning freely. Well, I finally managed to get the water pump off of the vehicle. I meant to, well, maybe I did actually. I showed y'all how I got it off with the bracing that C-clamp against right there. So I've got all that off. I need to take this tensioner off still, but got the thermostat out. It's over here. And so all I'm doing right now is coming in here and cleaning up the mating surfaces. You want to make sure those are really clean if you're doing this, because you're going to want a good surface for those gaskets to adhere to. So what I did was I took a putty knife, a pretty fine edge putty knife, to the mating surface and just scraped off all that old gasket junk that was hanging out on here. Got it pretty smooth, and took some really fine sandpaper and also kind of buffed that surface out. So right now I'm just waiting on my air compressor to charge up, and I'm gonna blow it dry a little bit, get some of that extra coolant out, and then it'll be ready to go and put that new one on there. Alright, back again today to do the reassembly on this guy. I have to clean off a little bit of surface rust that hit last night after sitting out here in the humid air. But got my distilled water to mix in with this Pre-Stone Dex Cool. This is the concentrate, so you need to cut it with some water. That's what I got this for. Here's the new pump. Throw that thermostat back on, and there's your old pump. And coffee. Gotta have your caffeine. Probably gonna hit hit the block there with a little bit of brake clean. See if I can clean up some of that rust, just get that surface nice and primed, ready to put those new gaskets on. So we'll be looking to get all this put back together today. Alright, kind of forgot to film it, but I put some RTV silicone on the back here between the, you can a little bit see it down here, on each side of the gasket, and I've got the gasket on. Got these guys finger tied on here, mounted. Just gonna go around and, you know, lightly tighten everything, make sure we're getting everything matched up right, make sure we're getting a good seal back here. Probably should have put the thermostat on, but I can do that in a second, that's no big. And then it'll just be getting the hoses reclamped, so making progress. Alright, day 3 of this repair. Just letting her idle now, it's pretty much done. I ran out of coolant last night and it got dark, so I quit, but everything's all capped off. I'm just waiting on her to idle a little bit here and get the levels right, and we'll be good to go. Kind of hard to see, got the new pump down there though. Running great. This engine actually sounds better than it did before with the old pump, so maybe there was some indicator it was going out for a while. I've got the cap off right now on the reservoir, and I've got the heater going full blast in the cab. And what that does is it lets any air bubbles that you may have introduced to the system come out, keeps air out of the heater core. Because if you get air trapped in there, you won't end up having any heat when you need it. Sorry for the noise there, it's kind of windy. But yeah, everything went well. This project ended up not being that bad at all. Also wanted to note, I used the concentrated solution of Prestone, Dex Cool, and some distilled water just from Walmart. Some people use like hose water, tap water. Probably that wouldn't be an issue, but I didn't want to introduce any like minerals or, you know, hard water or anything like that into the system, so I just went with the distilled water. They were 88 cents at Walmart, not a big deal. But yeah, that's about it. Pretty easy project, I think. I was pretty confident going in, and ended up everything went better than expected. Honestly, the hardest part was just getting that fan clutch to come loose, since this thing doesn't have E-fans. But yeah, another project down. We'll call that a win.